This is the EZ Pedaler T300. It actually comes in two flavors, the T300 or the T350, and that is the designation relating to the hub motor, which you see here. So this is a 300 watt hub motor versus a 350. Other than that, the bikes are very similar, and I'm just going to kind of give an overview. I like the design. First of all, the T is the step-through model, so it's a little easier to get on. The battery is located right there, kind of in the center of the bike, and it's relatively low. It's a great design because it keeps your center of gravity low, makes it pretty easy to handle, and it's pretty easy to remove. You can just pop the seat off here with the quick release, and then you can pull the battery out. And the battery actually locks onto the bike, and when it's locked, the bike can't be started and stolen, which is really nice. So the battery on this bike is pretty decent. In addition to being able to put it on, take it off easily, locking to the frame, it offers 36 volts at 12 amp hours, so that's pretty good. That's going to give you a decent amount of range there, 12 amp hours, and 36 volts is enough to power that 300 watt hub motor and carry you up decent size hills. It's a pretty good combo. So some of the other features I like about this bike is, it's got that really solid, like motorcycle style kickstand. It's got this little rack built on. The tires are actually extra large, kind of balloon style tires, and so even though this bike has a front shock absorber, the balloon tires actually take a lot of vibration out of the road, which is great. So the other interesting thing about this bike is that it, in addition to having the battery low to the ground in the center, it leverages a front hub motor instead of a rear like a lot of bikes, and that's kind of unique. So this isn't an especially powerful hub motor. There are several bikes out there that have 500 watt hub motors, but it gets the job done. And again, by putting it on the front of the bike, it sort of balances it out. So from front to rear, this bike is relatively balanced. That said, it is relatively heavy still, and that's just because it's not made of carbon fiber, and it's a pretty burly aluminum frame here. The shock isn't especially high end. There are no adjustments up here or anything, but this bike gets the job done, and it's relatively simple and incorporates things like a sort of a pant guard here, so that it guards your pants from the chain, which is nice. It makes this bike really easy to just hop on and go. Now, in terms of gears and everything, it's only got 3. 1, 2, 3. It's the Shimano Nexus here, and it changes those in an internally geared hub here. So what that means is you're not going to get out of alignment quite as easily. You can shift at standstill. Makes the bike just very easy to use, just kind of like impossible to mess up. It's got a light here on the back. You can see that go on and off, but that's not controlled from up at the front. So again, there are a couple places here on this bike where they went simple, but it keeps it from getting too complicated to ride too. The front light works much the same way. There's a little button on the back there. You just press that to turn it on or off. So again, there's no controller up where your hands are. You kind of just have to manually turn on the lights. And the pedal sensor on this bike is pedalec, so it senses it senses your pedals going around and the crank arms, and that's what triggers pedal assist, versus some fancier bikes have sort of a torque sensor in the hub. So, in my opinion, this is actually a pretty good setup, and it means you don't have to push to activate the motor. It just senses that you're pedaling, even if it's very gently. And this whole system is just very smooth. You hop on it, really super cush seat with the springs there, and you're off, no problem. And all the adjustments are very easy. You got the quick release down here, you got the quick release for the headset, and so you can actually kind of angle the headset, and you can pivot the bars a little bit too. So you can really dial this in very quickly and just get out there and have fun riding. Now, it does have that top speed limited at 20 miles per hour. Like most bikes out there, it's electronically limited. It's got automatic kill switch when you pull the brakes. That cuts power to the motor. I'm used to looking at the back, but it cuts power. And you'll notice there's a disc brake on the front wheel, so that's going to give you a lot of stopping power. And yeah, so generally speaking, this is a pretty good setup here, and I'm going to go ahead and take it for a test ride. The other thing that I really like is it's got a thumb throttle or pedal assist, and this is kind of a unique computer sort of setup here. There's no LCD. It's not super fancy or anything. It's simple. There's on-off switch, on, and you'll remember a moment ago I already made sure the battery pack was unlocked here. Okay, and there we know we're good because the power light is on. And as soon as I start pedaling, the bike is going to assist me. Whoop. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's almost effortless. And then I stop pedaling and the bike stops. And I start and it starts. It's very, very easy. I'm going uphill right now, but it's no problem. The bike's pretty much carrying me. I'm going to switch hands and I'm going to show you the thumb throttle. There we go. So without changing any settings on a computer or anything, I can immediately, if I want, stop pedaling and then use the thumb throttle. There we go. So in my opinion, that's a really good system. Whoa! Except for that, I guess it's easy to forget that you always have pedal assist on. I'm used to other systems that kind of separate the two. So, you know, if you're in pedal assist mode, you gotta be wary that, okay, if I pedal, the bike's gonna kick in. And then if you're in throttle mode, you pull the throttle and it goes. This bike, they're both on at the same time. So it's just kind of, I don't know, I guess that's an advantage, because sometimes you come to a stop sign and you want to use that thumb throttle, but then later on you start pedaling and the bike helps you. That's cool. Again, only 3 gears to mess with here. The bike's just super simple. Okay. Let's go back up that hill. There we go. Hands off the brakes. There we go. No problem. Effortless. Good stuff. I wanted to also mention that I like these oversized handlebars here on the front. You can see right here they give you just, they kind of come right up to your body, and I think they kind of smooth out the ride a little bit, and they give you that upright position, which just, in my opinion, is good for your neck and back when riding. For more details, pictures, and the full written review, check out ElectricBikeReview.com. Thanks.